Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is time once again for Randy's World of Boxing, and tonight it is an Olympic edition. And right now, this evening here at the Omni, we are surrounded by three of the great Olympic stars from the 1984 boxing team, and we get a look at perhaps how far they will go. Well, let's go back to the past, 20, 25 years, and some of the Olympic stars whose careers have already unfolded in front of our very eyes. And Randy, first of all, let's talk about one guy who I know is your favorite boxer of all time.
Of all time, and it's not Muhammad Ali. His name is Joe Frazier, Smoking Joe Frazier. He represented the United States in the 1964 Olympic Games. He wasn't supposed to, though. Buster Mathis was supposed to, but Buster came down with a broken hand, and Joe was the alternate. Joe went over to Tokyo to represent the United States. Joe, as a matter of fact, hid his broken hand, yet he fought in those Olympic Games. He won every one of his fights, and in the finals, he knocked out Germany's Hans Huber.
And that was for the heavyweight title, the 1964 Olympics. 4 years later, who was the heavyweight champ?
His name was George Foreman, Big George Foreman, one of the strongest, hardest heavyweights of all time. The man could bang with either hand. He destroyed the Soviet Union's Ionis Shapoulis.
And, of course, very well noted for his trip around the ring.
Of course, that was the 1968 Games with the Black Power salute. George walked around the ring with the American flag saluting, and he won national acclaim for it.
All right, trivia question. What two fighters won the Olympic light heavyweight gold 16 years apart, but later met for the heavyweight championship of the world?
I know the answer. Leon Spinks, Muhammad Ali.
You got it.
Muhammad Ali, in 1960, he won the light heavyweight championship in Rome. And then in 1976, off that outstanding team was Leon Spinks. And, of course, the two of them met in 1978 with Leon pulling off one of the biggest upsets in boxing history.
All right, an Olympian that has to be, well, the most marketed Olympian of all time, a television Olympian, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, he was another member from that 1976 Olympic squad, which produced 5 gold medal champions, but none ever like the great Sugar. Sugar Ray Leonard, one of the great fighters of all time. The man is worth today, somewhere, ballpark, $50 million.
Well, there was one Olympian, not from the United States, who did not win a gold medal, but he's after a championship down the road another month or so.
His name, John Mugabe. He represented Uganda in the 1980 Olympic Games in the Soviet Union, and he went to the finals and lost to a man named Andres Aldama of Cuba. Aldama was the man who lost to Sugar Ray Leonard in 1976.
All right, when you take a look back the last 20, 25 years and all the great Olympic stars, which one do you feel was the best fighter as an amateur?
I've got to go with Howard Davis Jr., and this is the man, another 1976 product. He just never developed as a professional. He's an outstanding professional. As an amateur, he was 125-5, just an incredible fighter. He was voted the most outstanding boxer in the games in 1976, just never really developed. And I hear a rumor now that he has just turned down $185,000 to fight Aaron Pryor. I don't particularly believe it. I wouldn't turn down $185,000 to fight Pryor.
You'll never get the chance.
I wish I would.
All right, that's another edition of Randy's World, the Olympic edition. And we'll be back for our main event, Evander Holyfield going up against Rick Myers next on Friday Night Boxing. For our local cable systems, let's pause now for these words. And now the moment they've been waiting for here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. The entrance of their local hero, Evander Holyfield, as he makes his way through the crowd for his first professional fight in his hometown. It was Holyfield, the most controversial figure in the 1984 boxing team. He was disqualified in his semi-final event for hitting on a break. He was just about assured of winning the gold. Certainly one of the outstanding prospects on the boxing team, but had to settle for a bronze. So he is very much motivated here in his professional career. Evander Holyfield at the age of 22 with a record of 5-0. And he is fighting now. They're trying to find the right weight classification, Randy, whether a light heavyweight or a cruiserweight.
Well, tonight is a little bit over that light heavyweight limit, but he said there's no problem making that 175 limit. None at all.
And he stares down his opponent across the ring. Rick Myers out of Bellevue, Illinois, 27 years of age, with a record of 24-7-2 with 15 knockouts. And he is being checked over by a referee, Jim Korb. There is no question that Evander Holyfield in his first 5 fights has faced the strongest competition of any of the Olympians. And his last fight a month ago against Tyrone Booz, an 8-round victory on the decision. Let's go to ring announcer Chico Renfro.
Let's have a standing ovation for His Honor, the Mayor of the City of Atlanta, Mayor Andrew Young. Okay, come on up, Mayor.
The mayor of Atlanta, Andrew Young, part of tonight's spectacle here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, sitting at ringside and watching one of the favorite citizens of Atlanta, Evander Holyfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening, an 8-round cruiserweight bout in the red corner, with a record of 24 wins, 7 losses, and 2 draws, 15 wins by knockout. The win of 7 of his last 8 bouts, weighing 179.25 pounds, wearing blue trunks trimmed in gold, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Rick Meyer. Knockout, weighing 185.5 pounds, wearing white trunks trimmed in red, from Atlanta, Georgia, the alchemist of boxing, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
Break, I want a clean break. There will be no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. You understand? All right, let's break and have a clean fight.
Good old stare down between Holyfield and Myers. Holyfield at 6'1.25", 184.5 pounds. Myers 6'2", 179.25. And is scheduled for 8 rounds. They are right in the middle of the light heavyweight cruiserweight division. And it is Myers who comes out to meet Holyfield and crowds him here in the opening seconds. Myers has won 9 of his last 10 fights. He gave up boxing about 3 years ago to go into the car business, selling cars. And since he has come back, he has put together a string of 9 victories in his last 10 fights.
The only loss in that string was the former world light heavyweight champion Eddie Mustafa Muhammad down in Pasadena, Texas, and he was stopped early in the fight, stopped on a cut. He said Eddie can still punch.
Holyfield, who lost that controversial decision in the Olympics to New Zealand's Kevin Barry for hitting on the break. And so he had to settle for the bronze instead of getting into the finals.
That wasn't hitting on a break. That was creaming a guy on a break. Oh, he nailed him.
Extremely controversial.
There's that hook of Holyfield. It is a short, devastating punch. The best punch Myers owns, a strong left hand to the body.
And Myers may be caught, yes, some blood now around the right eye. Myers looks very awkward in the ring.
That was the slashing hook that opened it up by Holyfield about 30 seconds ago. And I believe that's the same spot where Eddie Mustafa cut him about 6-7 months ago.
Holyfield with great punching power. Terrific quickness. Superior jab. And he has been in there with some good competition in his first 5 fights. Not holding back as he enters the pro ranks. His first fight against a tough Lionel Bayarn. And he won that in 6 rounds. And his last fight against good Tyrone Booz, he won that in 8 rounds. Ricky Myers may not get out of the first. Only 2 knockouts in his first 5 fights, but that could be reflected upon the competition. There's a left hook again by Holyfield, chasing Myers all over the ring here in the first round. 30 seconds to go. Will he survive it?
Oh, what a chin he has. It's just such a shame that those hooks aren't doing that cut any good. This had the makings of a real rumble, but now that he's cut above the brow, it doesn't look like this fight is going to go much more than another 2 or 3 rounds.
No saving by the bell except in the last round here in Georgia. As Holyfield pouncing on Myers in the closing seconds of the first. The fight has been stopped. That is it for Ricky Myers, who had sustained 2 cuts around the right eye. And it ends after the first round, so a 3-minute workout for Evander Holyfield. And that is enough for Myers, who loses just for the 2nd time in his last 11 fights. And Holyfield goes to 6-0, registering his 3rd knockout. And makes it a very quick night, just 3 minutes for his hometown crowd here in Atlanta.
I have a feeling Evander will take it any way he can. The victories, as long as they're victories, he doesn't care. But this was his first outing in front of his hometown fans as a professional, and I'm just curious to hear if he's down a little bit about it. I'm sure he wanted some work. I'm sure he wanted a rumble.
And you see his face as he parades around the ring, and I saw a little disappointment in the face.
Well, Rick Myers got hammered from the opening bell, and it was the hook of Evander Holyfield that did it over and over. And now there weren't 2 cuts, there were 3 cuts. 2 under the eye, 1 above the eye.
Well, Holyfield, the victor, and he is not a proponent of the big shot, but would rather work with the jab, likes the mechanics of the fight game to set up the closing blow. Now let's get the final word.
And gentlemen, referee Jim Cobb stopped the fight at the end of the first round. Myers unable to continue. The winner by TKO, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
Almost an apologizing smirk by Holyfield to his fans at the age of 22. Great potential from the Olympians, although he is a bronze medal winner, not the gold medal, but of course, as we had mentioned before, that has an asterisk to it. The story is just unfolding for Evander Holyfield. And Rick Myers with the ice pack quickly to the eye that ended this fight at the end of 1 round. We'll be back here on Friday Night Boxing as Randy Gordon will be at ringside talking with the victor, Evander Holyfield. That coming up next.
Hard. And my first round, I was just really feeling the guy out. And after the first round, I knew if I got that 2nd round, I'd be able to knock him out.
In my mind, there's no question that you, of all the Olympic champions, have fought the toughest guys. This guy tonight was tough. Tyrone Booz was tough. Eric Winbush was rated in the top 10 at one point. You are really moving on, but the way you're moving, don't you feel you're going to be in a title shot before you know it?
Well, yes, I feel like I keep progressing the way I'm doing. I'll be moving up for a title fight next year sometime.
Okay, we all know Captain Lou over here, one of your handlers. Ken Sanders, your manager. How fast do you want to move this guy into a title shot?
Well, basically Lou handles that. We think, same as Evander said, next year, about the middle of the year maybe, if everything's going all right. We're not in a hurry.
Lou, the light heavyweight division is a weak division. I mean, of course, the light heavyweight champion Michael Spinks is one of the greats, I think, in the division's history, but the rest of the division is weak. How fast are you ready to take on a contender?
Well, right now, we've got one problem I'm concerned about. I'm going to send him to a clinic, probably out in Bergen County, Dr. Levy out there to take care of the Giants and the Nets. And what I want to do is I want to check him out, find out where his maximum strength is. Is it at 175? Is it at 190? I mean, the kid is growing. This is not 3-round fights now. He's going 10, and he can go 10, he can go 12.
So there is a question whether he's a cruiserweight or light heavyweight.
That's right, but I spoke to his manager, Shelly Finkel, and Kenny Sanders, and we'll get together and say we'll sit down after we get a reading on him, and once we do that, he can go either way. Let me tell you something. Whether it's going to be 175 or whether it's going to be 90, in 86, he will be champion of the world.
Okay, Evander, Michael Spinks and Larry Holmes, I want your opinion on the fight. Does Michael Spinks stand any chance at all?
Well, I think he stands a chance, but I don't think he stands a chance to win because simple reason Larry Holmes is not gone right now. Larry Holmes got enough steam to beat him because he's a big man, plus he got the skills and the technique to beat Mike.
Okay, Evander Holyfield is continuing on towards his climb to the light heavyweight championship of the world. The man is still unbeaten, and he just might be behind Michael Spinks, the best light heavyweight on this planet. Let's go back to one of the best blow-by-blow guys I've ever known, Al Albert.
Oh, you're so kind, Randy Gordon. Well, Evander Holyfield completes a perfect night for the Olympians. Holyfield, Biggs, and Whitaker all knockout victors. And we'll have more Friday Night Boxing coming up on USA.